Hello, how are you? I'm going to speak in the most American voice I possibly can because I have been criticized in the past for using a false British accent when speaking in a humorous tone. Um, and I'll try to keep my hands off the scruff. It's just I haven't had scruff in a while of length like that, of like texture to where I could really dig into it and just be like, ponder. See, it almost happened there. I almost broke into it. But. So this is just a little video about. This is a couple weeks removed. It's almost been a month. It feels like of all this international break in world football, where soccer, as Americans like to call it, soccer, the new sport that's been around for hundreds of years. Well, 100. Anyways, nobody's keeping track. Arsenal. As much as this might ostracize me from some of the Facebook groups that I'm in for Spurs, because I don't really know who else to talk to other than on there, because that's where people are actually actively talking about Spurs or sports or football in general. Glory, Tottenham Hotspur is one of the groups I'm in, and there's another one that's just photos of history of Tottenham, and then there's another one I can't remember what it's called. It's just like it's the Latin term they have on the crust or whatever. And Arsenal. When I first started getting into football, being able to watch it on a or on a weekly basis, semi regularly. Kind of went over that in my old videos, but it was kind of long, so maybe you didn't get to it. But that was the year that that Arsenal went undefeated with Thierry Henry and maybe Cesc Fabregas. I don't know, but either way. So that was before I really had a strong allegiance, although it was very appealing to watch Tottenham play. They just never were on TV, and I hadn't really picked a team yet. I was just so happy that I could watch the EPL on TV. That was Fox Soccer or whatever. And so I basically, whatever was on, I'd watch it. And Sunderland included, even though that sucked because that was like the opposite of the type of football that I like to watch play. I've grown to appreciate a more defensive-minded game because I've learned more about the risk-reward and like the whole complex boardroom issues and how teams are actually run and like how many levels they compete on and stuff like that. At the same time, come on. And Arsenal, though. Basically, I read Fever Pitch. I've seen the movie with the guy from Bridget Jones, and I liked that. And when there's vacuum of films related to that, I mean, there's Green Street and Hooligans, there's Goal and Goal 2, I guess. Bennett Like Beckham, which I saw in the theater with my girlfriend at the time, not knowing that it had a locker room scene in it that was going to make it kind of uncomfortable and make me kind of look around the theater and notice there's like a lot of girls watching this movie, like, because it's like the only soccer movie and soccer's actually pretty big here. And my girlfriend just kind of laughing at me, basically. But that was so many years ago. Keira Knightley is now a darling for the world, and the other girl was on ER, which is not on TV anymore. So this is all kind of moot. Point is that Arsenal were undefeated, and that was attractive. Thierry Henry obviously was amazing. Thierry Henry, and is still pretty damn good for the Red Bulls. And I have signed him in FIFA and in Pro Evo away from there to play on my teams because he's so cheap, and it's just nice to have him on the team. It kind of transcends any kind of rivalries where it was like, growing up here, we had like the Vikings, the Packers, but then you go to Chicago, and it's like the Packers are a bigger rival to Chicago, and Packers fans kind of are like, well, yeah, they're the Bears, you're the Vikings, so as far as big sports rivalries, even in baseball, which is like the American sport, the Twins, the closest team that would be our rival, is in a different division. So we didn't actually really play them that much. So it was like the Brewers, which is in Wisconsin, a couple hours away, not a huge rival. So it was kind of like, yeah, it's manufacturer rivalries, and it just takes so much effort. So when there's the London Derby, and not like, Fulham, not Chelsea. Well, Chelsea's kind of a big deal, but Chelsea's so good all the time now. And again, they have players that I like too. I don't necessarily fully endorse the team. Right now I have Ivanovic. This is my fantasy team, by the way. If you want to take a look at that and give me your thoughts. Minile, Ivanovic, Shaw, Vertonghen, Lamela, luckily is a midfielder, and others. So now when I look at Arsenal, I'm kind of glad they play Rosicky, because I've always thought he was pretty damn good, but maybe he just had some slow moments. Is it Koscielny is pretty damn good. Arteta's obviously really good. Santi Cazorla is obviously very good. Theo Walcott, I think I said on like a banter page that he was going to score like 8 goals this year, and I think that's probably about right. But, it's more like a jab at England fans in general, the international team. They always have a very stark view on their team, and even the Tottenham fans in the preseason and during the transfer window, it does kind of take away from the game a little bit of actually how excited I get when it's Saturday or Sunday, or if it's even a Europa game or a cup game match. So I don't really look at Arsenal fans like in a negative way. I just like when I'm online and like I see the press around it, and like there's so much criticism about like how much Tottenham was spending, and then we lost, and it was like, come on, like it's like they didn't even, like they just got off the plane and they were playing. I mean, like it was ridiculous, and that game really should have been 180 minutes long, because I mean it was fun to watch, for me anyways. And just Lamela came on too late, obviously. He's obviously an amazing player, and Soldato's obviously really good and everything too. So the next match should be really good. Hopefully they'll play each other a couple times, maybe in a cup or possibly in Europa League, because we know you're not going to win the Champions League. Okay. Nah, I could see Arsenal going further in the Champions League this year. They just look pretty damn good. And hats off to them for getting Ozil. He's one of my favorite players to watch, even though I never get to see him play. But he's awesome in FIFA, and he just is like he's kind of like Ribery, where he gets made fun of for how he looks a lot, and I can relate to that. So, it's childish, but at the same time, or not at the same time, but it's like he's just, they're spectacular at what they do, and it's fun to watch. And with Santi Cazorla, I don't know. It's really appetizing to see that play out. And so that's pretty much, I don't know. I kind of like, if you get some response, and then I can maybe respond to it in another video. But, I don't hate Arsenal, even though I'm a Tottenham guy, just because I look forward to every competition, and I really enjoy the game, the game on an international level, and even on our lower league levels here. And I like seeing the progress that it's made, and no bitterness. So America, okay. Later.